From the back roads to the boardwalks, from what exit to what just happened. This is Dirty on Jersey, the Garden State's realest headlines, short, sharp, and straight up Jersey. And welcome back to Dirty on Jersey. This is episode 2, Dirty Deals and Department Deficits. This episode we are going to be trying to go over something a little bit dirty in the state, and I'm talking about some of these police payouts that happen in the state. Some of these lawsuits that come out, the taxpayer. The taxpayer ends up paying it. It's not going to the roads. It's not going to schools. It's going to settle these misconducts by these local police departments. And some of these cases are pretty shocking. Others, sadly, business as usual. And before we get into it, I just wanted to say, police officers, it is one of the most dangerous jobs out there, hands down. And they don't know they're coming home. And that is the number one thing I want to get out there. I'm not trying to bash any police departments with this. I just wanted to highlight how, certain things can change. In my opinion, maybe a little bit of better training, but just my opinion. It is one of the most dangerous jobs out there. I know, like, New York City police officers, they don't get paid enough. But from my experience with police officers, I've had good and bad. And with this podcast, I want to try to be open and honest with everybody with my experiences through my life, because those are my stories. So if I want other people to share theirs, I might as well start sharing mine. And, for me, with police, I grew up in northern New Jersey, so some areas were different, had different police departments than other areas, and some of the interactions were a little bit different. I've been threatened by police before. I've had good dealings with the police before, where they actually were there to kind of protect me and help me out due to a certain situation that I had gotten involved in. There were times when I was in trouble with the police department, and I paid the price for it, or got a ticket or something like that. But, there's other times where there was this one time in this one town in northern New Jersey where I got pulled over. I always say 2.5 times, because the third time I got pulled over by this police department, which I've never gotten a ticket from them, the third time I got pulled over, and the cop just sat behind me, didn't get out of his car about 5 minutes, and then just drives away. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. And I believe at the time there were these police impersonators that were going around, pulling people over. I called the police department and I asked, hey, what's the deal here? I just got pulled over by somebody. Not even just right off like a script. She's like, well, you just got away with whatever you did. Okay, bye. And hangs up the phone. And I was just like, oh, Jesus. Those were just my experiences that I've had with dealing with police departments. So I've had both good and bad, but I know there's other people out there who've only ever experienced bad. And, as I got older, I learned a lot more about how really bad the situations is in this country. So, yeah, with this episode, we are going to go over the top 10, or not top 10, I'd say the ones that stood out to me. But it's a top 10 list, let's call it that. So let's get into it. And kicking off the list is Wildwood. Wildwood PD, back in 2022, they had to pay out $325,000 after officers went overboard, literally and figuratively, during an arrest. And not surprised to see that Wildwood would make this list, but that's still a decent chunk of change. And the reason why it's, it does come out of taxpayers, pockets. Obviously, a lot of these payouts get paid out through insurance companies, and when these payouts have, happen more than once, and they start adding up into the millions of dollars, which we'll get to in a few, your insurance rates are going to go higher. So that has to get passed down to the taxpayers. You end up paying for it. And are some of these lawsuits frivolous? Yeah, because they got good lawyers, and there's these ambulance chasers. Everybody out there that wants a little piece of the cake here. So, but yeah, let's get back into the list here. We've got in number 9, we've got Woodbridge PD, and then back in 2019, there was a man there accusing a Woodbridge officer of excessive force, and the township quietly settled for $197,000. So, still, it's a big chunk of change. And actually, surprisingly, up next is well, not surprisingly, but it's the Newark PD. They've had multiple payouts over the years, and many tied to these stop and frisk tactics, the excessive force, and wrongful arrest. And the total is estimated in the millions of dollars. So it's a large police department. You're gonna get bad apples in there, but it's also a city that's it's changing for the better. Definitely, it's changed over the years from when I was a kid to now. So, but yeah, and up next, actually right after that is Patterson, which I know very well because I grew up kind of like on the outskirts of it. I didn't grow up there, but I lived in the area for a little bit. So, great town, great food, great people. But the police there, not so great. And between internal shootings there, corruption, and all the disbanding of their street crimes unit, the payouts have stacked up pretty much in the $1 million as well. Coming up next after Patterson, we've got the Elizabeth Police Department. Not surprised here because they've quietly paid out a couple hundreds of thousands of dollars in settlements over the years, most tied to illegal searches, harassments, and force complaints. Force complaints, I feel like you're going to get at every department, and actually, I do agree that with these body cameras, like I understand that there's pushback from like the police departments, but it's also there to protect them because they're going to get a lot of these like frivolous lawsuits and these I say dash cameras because I'm used to saying that, but these body cameras, they may cost a little bit, and the overhead for them, like storage and things like that. But in the end, it will save them. Well, some of them, and then some of them it'll put them in jail. So it works out both ways. So, but going into the middle spot here, we got the Jersey City PD at the number 5 spot, and they've settled numerous claims as well for excessive force, racial profiling, and even some wrongful death suits. And coming in the number 4 spot, we've got the Camden County PD, and back in 2022. The Camden PD ended up paying out $10 million after paralyzing a man during an arrest. The victim, a quadriplegic after the encounter. That's just so sad that that happens. Like the excessive force can leave somebody paralyzed like that for the rest of their lives. In a sense, you are taking their life away from them. It completely changes everything. They can't do anything for themselves. It's really sad, but they need to be learning experiences, and people need to be held accountable. And people have the right to absolutely sue the police departments, and they have to pay out. Coming to the number 3 spot, we've got the Trenton PD, and since 2021, they've spent over $7 million in civil rights lawsuits. The Department of Justice did confirm that there was a pattern of unconstitutional policing. Yeah. And coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the New Jersey State Police, and so far this year, they had to pay out nearly $13 million to a woman who suffered a stroke and was treated like she was a drunk driver by the troopers. That is just horrifying to hear that happened to somebody, and it's absolutely not right at all. And $13 million, is it enough? I don't know, but coming in at the number 1 spot is the state of New Jersey. Is just since 2019. New Jersey municipalities have paid out $87 million in police-related settlements. $87 million. And just in 2023 alone, $17 million. It's just absolutely staggering, these numbers that these police departments and towns end up having to pay out. And this is just, say, 10 towns, 10, New Jersey State Police, they cover a lot of the state, but you still have a couple hundred other police departments that that have maybe a couple $100,000 here every couple years. It's just it adds up, and it sadly has to get paid back by upping the insurance, and that falls on the taxpayers to fill that gap. So yeah, that is the, I guess, first edition of these top 10s that I'm kind of thinking of going to be doing for maybe like midweek. I'm still trying to get a handle on, navigating this whole scheduling and setting everything up, because honestly, for this podcast, I decided to kind of just use whatever I have at my fingertips to try to make this as cool as possible, but also entertaining and, not take up too much of your time. So that's why I'm trying to kind of keep it near like the 15-minute mark as for these podcasts. But, always looking for, tidbits here and there. Eventually I'll get a better microphone so you don't have to hear my dog in the background huffing and puffing. But this is something that I think I'm enjoying, and I definitely want to keep going at it. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening, and take care.